Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. It is Friday, December 15th. Man, we've only got 2 left on the year. Can you believe that? I can barely believe that we only have 2 left on the year. It's unbelievable that we're getting to the bottom of it that fast. Anyway, I thought we'd put a little Christmas spin on it this time because I know next time there's probably going to be some family flying, maybe a little drinking. And I don't know what the attendance is going to be like on the PilotJam. So I thought we'd make this our little PilotJam Christmas party. Anyway, I've got some fun stuff planned tonight. And it's all going to start. I'm going to do something a little unusual. I haven't done it on a PilotJam before, so a little different. And then I do have some content, believe it or not. I've got some content. I want to tell you guys it's been a slow week for the RC stuff because I have just been getting crushed at work, putting in the hours at work, and that's fine. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I'm happy to have that problem, but the videos suffered as a result. But have no fear. There's plenty of stuff going on. I've got plenty of content on the way. I've got new stuff, new sponsors, all kinds of things happening. It's going to be good. We're going to have a fun time. So the week in review is going to be really short because there was only one video, and it was the Radio Master USB UART flash tool. And I just realized I typed it wrong. That says USRT instead of UART. But I'll fix that, the flash tool. And I'm really happy that Radio Master came out with that flash tool because that really rounds out their portfolio on Express LRS. And it's like a little Swiss Army knife. So very handy little tool. And if you need a dongle, if you don't have a dongle, I would say definitely get one because eventually you're going to need it. I'll just tell you that much. I've had to use them in the past to recover things that didn't go so well. So nice tool, Swiss Army knife. It can flash all the Radio Master, all the other Express LRS receivers, of course. But the real convenient aspect of that was that little the pin, the JST connector, the specialized connector for the Radio Master ER6 and ER8 and 6GV and 8GV receivers. So you can plug directly into that UART. That's a nice little touch. And of course, all the other little gadgets that came with that one. And then of course, the RP4 True Dual Receiver, True Diversity Receiver. That's pretty cool. I know a lot of people have been looking for that and waiting for a True Diversity Receiver from Radio Master. Not to be confused with a dual antenna receiver. Big difference, right? Dual antenna has one RF chip but 2 antennas, so you can get them in the cross. You can get the plane, the arrangement, the horizontal propagation plane, and the vertical plane covered by aligning them in a cross fashion, or 90 degrees out. So not to be confused with that, this is a true diversity receiver, meaning 2 RF chips. But single board, so if the board goes bad, you still lose both your receivers. Just a thought. Anyway, that was it really in terms of the content. And then, of course, the PilotJam. So I hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season. And it looks like Jeff was the first in. So HP Jeff first in, new player in the first game, huh? Bill popped in for a little bit and said, enjoy the jam. He's off watching a show in D.C. There's plenty of those up there. Drummond Stewart, happy holidays, pilots. Thank you, Drummond. Very nice of you. Rambo Flight Ken is here. Just lost John's Discord server, temporary outage. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Discord itself go down. Let's see. The David Knutz from the great state of Texas here. How you doing, David? Good to see you, my friend. Fast Freddy, you're like 6 in, dude. He must have been asleep at the wheel. Patrick Henry, hello to everyone. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Same to you, Patrick. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. I'm not going to get them all, but happy holidays, whatever your holidays. So that's that. Wasam Mata says hello. How you doing? Stan Heaton says howdy. Dave is here. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you. Spin Launch Glide. How's it going? Dan Griffiths is in the house. How you doing, Dan? Jack Brakeman, new to the RC. Well, welcome to being new to the RC. Hey, a lot of help here. Don't forget to get on our Discord. RC Guys is back with you. Very good. Drone Pilot Elias, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Warm down under, right? Jack Brackman. I think we got Jack already. William Tam is here. How you doing, William? And Gordon Goff, hello from Washington, and Robert from the Great White North, up there where it's really cold. We're getting some weather. Tell you what, man, my weekend got trashed for flying this weekend. We have 90% chance, probability of rain, and the winds are like 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. It's crazy. No flying this weekend. Ain't going to happen. FL Engineer, what? Who's this guy? Tim, you made it. You and me both busy at work. Yeah, it's been busy. Let's see. Mr. Giant Leap, happy Friday. Well, glad you can make it. And it's Joey Lowe. I'm watching in the background. Very good. Yeah, put it on in the background. Treat it like a podcast. That's always good. Okay, so we got the hellos out of the way, and I already did the weekend review. So with that, I think we can probably get going here. So let's see if I can arrange my little streamer to let me do the things that I need to be able to do. So weekend review is done. Okay, first up is the timer one elapse. I'm going to turn the radios off because we're not going to need those just yet. I'm going to give you guys Wiggle Fingers RC, finally gorgeous in Arizona. Man, I love Arizona. I miss Arizona. I really do. One of my favorite places to live. Spent some good years there in Arizona. All right. I wanted to give you guys a look at the 608 PD. I wanted to let you know first off that I have it. So that's kind of the big one, is that I have the 608 PD. This is the ISDT device, and this is sent by Radio Master. There will be a production video on this. I'm just giving you guys a quick look. I also wanted to show you another gadget I bought, but I'm going to ask you guys, don't run out and buy this yet because I'm not sold on this gadget yet. I don't know that I'm going to keep this one. This is an FNB58. It's a USB tool analyzer, USB power analyzer. And I'll tell you the reason I got it is because the other one that I have, which is pretty good, I plugged it in and I expected to see a power delivery message and I didn't get one. And I don't know why. And honestly, I got a little bit annoyed about it. So what I thought I would do is I'm just going to give you guys a quick look at this thing. So this is the PD608 by ISDT. And the first thing I wanted to do is give you a look. And of course, I don't know if this camera is going to cooperate with this color scheme, right? Of course it won't. So let's see if we can get that up there. The voltage, the yellow right there, 20 volts. So I've got this plugged into a PD power brick. That's the white wire. And then the blue wire goes to the charger. Again, don't worry. There's going to be a production video. I'm not doing a full review. I'm just showing. This is the PilotJam. So you guys we're going right for the meat and potatoes. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to show you that part first because I wanted you to see that there is 20 volts there. And of course that color scheme is just terrible for a camera, but there you go. 20 volts. And you can see on this purple bar, there is no current, right? We're not really drawing any current, but 20 volts. And if that changes, I'll let you know. So I just wanted you to see it. And then I have a PD connection in. One thing about this charger that I'll let you guys know is that it has a connector right on the top. That's an XT60 for DC in, and there's the PD in. And they tell you in the directions, do not connect both at the same time. Bad idea. So I'll just connect the wall brick. So this is coming from the wall, going through my little meter and then into the PD608. And you can see 20 volts right there as well. Okay. So 20 volts. And here's the cool thing about it that it surprised me. I got to tell you, I was a little bit surprised. I don't know why though, because it's not the first ISDT device I've had that does this. But check this out. I'm going to get my phone, and it takes a second for this to link up. And we'll know when it links up because there it is. The voltage comes in right there on the phone. You see that? Let me turn the brightness down so it's not blowing you guys out. But you get the voltage right there. That's the per cell voltage. And then you can come in and confirm your charging task. You can set chemistry to high voltage, lipo, life, lead acid, nickel metal hydride. So we'll leave it on lipo. And you can set your full charge voltage and your amperage. And then you hit the little play button. And there it goes. It starts charging. So right there, you can see, hopefully you can see that everything kind of turned red. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I mistakenly earlier pointed to the purple line. This is a new device to me. It's the green line. You see how the green line is 2.6 amps right there? So 51 watts, 2.6 amps, 19.9 volts. That's coming in on PD. That's charging a 6-cell. This is an 1800 HRB, and it's going through that little PD connection on the input. So again, I'll be doing a production video. I'm just showing you guys. We go right for the potatoes on this one. I'll do the full power test and all that normal mumbo jumbo. but I wanted you to get a look at this and see. And the other thing I wanted to show you was, this is why I bought this meter. What this one says right here is QC2 20 volts. Now, the weird thing about that is I actually did a little reading to make sure I understood the specs correctly. And I don't think QC2 is supposed to be 20 volts. I believe. I reserve the right to be an idiot about that, but my initial research indicates that this should be limited to something like 12 volts, but you're in PD in order to get 20 volts. So I'll have to double check my work, and I'll do that for the production video. If you happen to know, leave a message in the comments or in the chat, whichever one. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that this profile says QC2, and that's why I actually bought this device. I bought this device because it explicitly said in the description PD 2.0 and PD 3.0. And what I'm seeing here is QC2, and oddly, it says 20 volts right there. So I do see the 20 volts. I'm not questioning that part. And I do see the 2.6 amps, which is fine. And I'm seeing the amperage on here. It's 1.9. So I'm okay with all of that. But yeah, I'm just not sure why we're not seeing PD. I'm not sure if it's supposed to or not either, by the way. So a little more testing to be done, but I just wanted to show you guys that one. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, I'll stop the charge, by the way. No discharge on this one. So I'm going to stop the charge. We do that by hitting that little stop button. That stops the charge. And then notice on the tasks, there is no option in here. You can change the chemistry, the cells. I thought maybe there would be a voltage level where you could set it to like 3.8 and that would discharge, but no. 4.1 is the low end, and then 4.25 on the high end for LiPo. And then the charge current can go up to 10 amps. Okay, so that's it for the app. And then there are some presets in here as well, and you configure those. I'm not sure if you long press to configure. Yep, there you go. You long press it, and then you can change the chemistry, the voltage, the current, and the full charge, the top off charge. And if you want, you can delete it. And then those become quick settings. So if you want to run one of those, you just hit the play button, and you don't have to worry about all this mumbo jumbo. It just executes what's ever in your quick setup. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that because that's at 5 amps on a 2 amp battery. So there you go. And you can see I've got a couple of slots undefined. There's a completion beep, screen brightness. You can adjust that and go away, go away, go away. Okay, fine. Don't go away. Stay on medium. And then there's a calibration option in here as well. So you can go in and apparently calibrate. I haven't done the calibration yet. I'll work on it. That'll be in the production video. So there's a look at the app and the performance. Now that we're done with the basic fundamentals of PD on this little 608 charger, I want to flip the script a little bit because I saw a comment from Discord. Rob actually found it. And what happened was there was a comment that the charger would put out incorrect voltage on electrical voltage, and it could have caused a problem. So what I'm going to do is rearrange the scenario a little bit, because now before I get into any real detail on this, on the numbers here, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. So the way this works is we take the charger and we plug in a battery. So I'm just going to plug in the battery. You don't need the balance lead, although you could plug it in. And if you leave it unplugged, if you leave the balance lead unplugged and you press this, you can set the low voltage cutoff. And if you press it, short press it again, you go back to the main screen, then you plug in your balance lead. Now you can see I've got per cell voltage, and it's of course it's claiming a abnormal battery connection. And if I short press again, now we can set the per cell cutoff. So that's the difference on whether or not you use the balance lead. Okay. Now, because we have a battery going in and nothing on this side, it now acts basically like a power brick. It's basically like a power brick, like you use to charge your phone. And the comment that came in was, hey, I plugged this thing in and it didn't work. So it blew, the voltage was wrong. So what I'm going to do is take my meter now and reverse the connections. I'll use this one. This is coming off the charger. That will be the input on my little meter here. Now I got to unplug the white one from the brick. So give me just a moment. Okay, now I've got the white one from the brick, and I'm going to plug that in on the output port on the meter. And then I'm going to plug in to a phone. And of course, you know, I wonder, I think, you know what? I'm just out of curiosity. I think this has to be done the other way around. So I'm just going to plug it in now. And I think that USB out, battery voltage. Okay, no, not going to work. There we go. I had to flip a switch on my little meter. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so now is this thing going to focus or not? There we go. 4.99 volts, and we're seeing 0.6 amps, which is not satisfactory. This device should be able to do better than that. I wonder. It should go a little bit higher. I'm not sure why it's not, but you know what? What I was really trying to show anyway was the voltage. So I'm seeing 5 volts. I really don't know why it's not charging. Sometimes with these USB cables, you have to flip stuff around. It's not happy with the, there it goes. Yeah, you have to flip the cables around. There we go. See? It tried to get you. You have to know these things. All right, so there's 4.8 volts and 1.3 amps. So the bottom line is it's charging the phone. That's what I wanted to show you, is that I am actually charging the phone. I'm getting 1.4 amps, 1.39 amps, and I'm seeing 4.84, 4.85 volts, and that's coming obviously from the battery through the charger, through the USB-C, into my little meter, and then into the phone. The only reason I put the meter in the way is so you guys could see the numbers. That's what I was after, was I wanted you to see the numbers, 4.8 volts and 1.3 amps. Now, let me explain what I think about it. That was a long-winded way to get to a point that I really don't get it. I understand, obviously, how to make it work. You know, I get that. But here's the deal. If you think about this in a practical sense, right? You're at the field and you're going to have, say, an input source, whatever it is. I don't care what your input source is. Let's say you have an input source, right? This blue one goes to your battery, whatever the input is. And when you're at the field, you're charging stuff, right? You're going to plug your battery in, and you're going to plug your balance lead in. You're going to open the little app, and you're going to hit go, and you're going to charge your batteries. Now, for some reason, you decide, oh, my phone needs to be charged. Are you really going to go through all the trouble of disconnecting this from whatever the power source is, maybe disconnecting the battery, plugging this into your phone, and then plugging the battery in so it acts like a charger? Are you going to go through all of that? I don't know. I don't know that I would do that. And by the way, that's the way it should work if you forget about the meter. And now I got to flip the cable around again, see if I can get that to work. And it's still not working. So do I need to flip this around? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But you see my point? I mean, I had it working just a minute ago, but I'm not going to go through all that crap to charge my phone, man. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Because I'm almost kind of curious. It says USB out, battery voltage. Okay, let's try it again. Is it going to charge? No, not going to charge. Put it on this one. Is it going to charge? Oh, there it goes. I think it goes. No, it dropped down to 4.9 volts. I don't see any amps. Yeah. I mean, obviously it can work. You guys just saw it work. But this is my point. I'm not going to go through all this for what effectively amounts to this. You're going to take this charger, right? And you're going to take this PD608 charger and effectively turn it into this. This always works. And even if it's in the car, it works. And I don't want to go through all this. I don't know why this isn't charging. It's kind of annoying, though. I got to be honest with you. If it's going to act like that, if it's supposed to be a charger, that's kind of what I want to see. Oh, you know, I wonder. I think it was actually just trying to charge my phone. I actually think that's what was going on. Anyway, that's my point. I'm not going to use it that way. You see? So, yeah, it has PD out. We saw it work. You guys saw it work, but I don't think I'd use it that way. I think it's kind of silly. To me, it's a lot more viable when they put the output on this side. So whatever your power source in, you leave that, and then you take a tap right here on the side, you stick it in there and that charges your phone. That I understand because you don't have to monkey around with all this business. But I got to be honest with you, man. I don't think it's very cool. So that's probably enough of that. I just wanted to give you guys a first little crack at it, let you get a look. But one of the main things I wanted to show you is that it will actually charge a phone. And I did not see, the phone's not damaged, right? So whatever the report was out there on Discord that the voltage was wrong, I didn't have that problem. But I have to put the caveat in that I also had a meter in between this device and my phone. And but when I connected it directly, I couldn't get it to charge at all. So I don't know. It's just, to me, it's one of those kludgy little things. It's kind of gimmicky. I do see the value in the PD input. I get that. You know, I would use that. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm cool with that part. But as far as the, you know, the concept of using the PD out as a charger for your phone, I got to be honest with you, man. I just think that's kind of kludgy, maybe a little silly. So before we move on, I'm going to wrap that segment up. I'm going to go back and check comments, and we're going to get on to the next section. So yeah, hot 114. Yeah, ooh, 114 temperature. Wow, man, that is hot, says Elias. We're in winter here in Western Canada. Yeah, it's winter. It's winter. We're all the way down to 65 right now here in Florida, man. The thrust and watt meter test you have added to the reviews are on point. Thanks for the content. You're welcome, Patrick. I'm glad to do it, man. I used to do a lot more of that, but, you know, people didn't really react to it too much. So I kind of got away from it a little bit. But, you know, I thought for these vendors that are sending the airplanes, that it kind of justifies their effort, you know, giving the full picture. So I think I'll continue doing that. But I do appreciate the comment. Thank you. Robert, I like the charger. Yeah, I think what I've seen so far, I haven't done any measures, so I haven't gotten the, you know, the meter out and measured it. Well, that'll be in the production video. You know, we'll go through that. We'll check the calibration, see how accurate it is. Of course, we'll load it up to its full potential. You know, all of those tests are on the way, so hang tight. We'll do that. But I do like the form factor of the charger. Obviously, kind of handy to stick one of these, you know, in your glove box. You ever been at the field and needed to charge an extra battery all of a sudden? This would be kind of nice to do that, right? I actually keep the little M4, the Toolkit RC M4 handy like that. I just keep it on the side, but that's only good for 4-cell. This one does 6. So 6-cell, very compact, deck of cards, smaller than a deck of cards. It's about the same height as a deck of cards, maybe just a little shorter. That's a good analogy is what I'd say. Yeah, I like it. It's good form factor. Let's see. Spin Launch Glide says, if we get 10 like on the video, will you peel the plastic off the charger? I'll tell you what, if somebody hits a tip jar, I'll peel the plastic off for you. There you go. North49 says, I like a charger that has an app for your phone. Yeah, as long as they work. I do too. That can be kind of convenient because you're knocking around at the field, you're working on stuff. Be nice to pull up the phone, take a look, see how your battery's doing. I do like that. It's not terrible. I like these, but yes, the buttons are definitely better. Very, very simple menu interface. But again, stay tuned for the production video and we'll go through the whole thing. Drone Pilot QC2 is 12 volt. Yeah, Elias, that's what I found too, right? That's what I read. But yet the two different meters both said QC2 and showed me 20 volts. But that's what I remember. That's what I looked up and found as well. I wonder why it hasn't been done a long time ago. I'm not sure. An app for your phone. They actually did. There is another ISDT. It's like a 4-cell, no screen, and it has an app for your phone. I've had them. In fact, if you give me a second, I'll bring the app up and tell you. I'll show you the model numbers. I have them. It's ISD Go. Here you go. It's called the H605 Air. There you go. I have a couple of those. Those are also app-based control. Same deal. Now, this is ISD. This is ISDT. This is ISDT. Why they have two separate links or two? So you got ISD link. Let me do the big camera. You'll see it better. This will be another little gripe that I have. Why do we have ISD link and ISD Go? How about just putting it all in one app? You know, make my life easier. That's what it's supposed to be about. You have obviously an app that works for multiple chargers. Why not just put them together, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. This is, yeah. I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Hey, Rob, how are you? Stupid busy, but good. And you okay? Calibrate. Yeah, we got to calibrate. We always calibrate our stuff, man. No doubt. That's why I haven't charged anything to peak on this one yet. I've only done demos and a little bit of testing, but never to peak because I want to test it first. Let's see. QC2 Class B adds 20 volts. Oh, Rambo Flight Ken finds out that QC2 Class B adds 20 volts. So now the question is, obviously, this must be a Class B device. Class B, have not heard of that. Time to research. Yeah. PD 2.0, I guess, and 3.0, they support it. But QC2, I couldn't find anything about 20 volts on QC2. Amazing. The curse of plugging the USB in backwards lives on. I know, right? And why? Isn't this supposed to be a standard? Aren't these cables supposed to be standardized? You're poking a bear right now, my friend. It's Joey Low. 21 likes. Let's go. Yeah, man. Hit the like button. 22 likes and 42 viewers. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. And while we're on that subject, Joey, thanks for reminding me. I want to give a big shout out to my patrons and say thanks to you guys for reaching into your wallets and sharing the expense of running the channel. You guys are one of the reasons that I'm able to go out and get these little gadgets. And by the way, I'll probably do a little bit of a review on this one, and I'm going to tell you guys, don't buy it right now. I think this one's going back. I'm not sure that it gives me enough of what I want for the money. So, but it's because I have patrons that I am allowed to do this kind of thing. Go get these types of devices and do this one. This one's $60, a little spendy, but I wanted to be able to give you guys good answers, right? I wanted to say, is this PD 2, 3, QC? What is it? Because the last one I had showed me QC, and I didn't think it should be running at 20 volts. So that's why I bought it. Anyway, thanks to the patrons. And I'll remind you guys, if you'd like to help out, patreon.com/RC Video Reviews, and you can join for as little as $3 a month. Get in that Christmas spirit if you want to help. But if not, that's cool. Yeah, it's all good. I'll be here one way or the other. Let's see, Ricardo, I can't say it, Ferreira. Last week, I was given an IMAX B6 clone. It looks ancient, but it works along my trusty ISDT2, and it can now charge 3 light bulbs at once. Yeah, very good. Those B6s are solid back in the day. Only like 50 to 80 watts, though, right? That's the downside. But they were solid. I had one of those, actually. Okay. I told you we're going to do something new on the channel tonight, and the reason we're going to try and get in the spirit of the holidays a little bit, and I'm gonna demonstrate that by showing you guys some gifts that I received from one of our sponsors. So I'm going to cover some gifts. But first, for you electronics gurus and tinkerers out there, check out PCBWay.com. PCBWay has a full suite of services available to make your ideas a reality, including PCB manufacturing and assembly, CNC machining, 3D printing, and injection molding. When you're ready to order, PCBWay provides instant quotes, real-time production tracking, and you can order as few as 5 boards at a time, which is great for early-stage projects. If you need an experienced partner to help bring your ideas to life, check out PCBWay.com. I have a link in the description if you'd like to give them a look. I appreciate you guys' patience while I pay the bills, and that was the new thing that we've never done on a PilotJam before, and that's have a sponsor. And the reason I did it was because PCBWay was so generous this holiday. They sent me a bag of swag, a box of swag, and I just wanted to show it to you guys because I thought, you know, it's just one of those things. It was a nice little touch. It was an eclectic little collection of neat little things. And I kind of put myself, if you guys ever think about the concept of giving gifts during the holidays and you say, I have no idea what to give, imagine being PCBWay. They've got all these content creators in a myriad of different interest areas, and they have to figure out, how do we send these people a swag box? And they came up with some neat ideas. Obviously, if you travel, you know what this is. This is a neck roll for the airplane. It's got the little PCBWay logo on there. I thought that was kind of nice because I do actually travel from time to time. I've got a, I think this is a Christmas, I think it's a Christmas club. If the kids get out of line, you whack them with this, maybe. I'm not sure. I think it's just for beating the kids, maybe giving the wife, if she's misbehaving, give her a little whack with that. And then this, of course, is a radio stand, the PCBWay radio stand. So if you have a radio like Precious, you can you put Precious right there on the radio stand, and you turn it like this. There's the radio stand. You turn that like that, and you just lay her on there. And now Precious has got a nice little dedicated holiday spot on the desk. So we got the wife beater, and we got the radio stand, which is very cool. I'm just kidding. It's a keyboard. It's a wrist rest, right? And a mouse pad. So very cool. And then they sent me a couple little lanyards. So I'm official. And I think the lanyards might go with the badge. I got the little PCBWay RC Video Reviews badge. And that way, I guess if I go to the PCBWay factory, I get a free tour, maybe. I don't know. But it's magnetic. I can put it on. And you guys will all know who I am at the next event that we do together. And then the one that I thought these were really cute. If you got, I'm just showing you guys this because look, it's a holiday season. You got to get in the spirit of giving, and you can't use a complaint. Well, I don't know what to give, because if these guys figured it out, they're all the way in China, and they came up with this nice little bag of stuff. very thoughtful, very generous. And if they figured it out, you guys can figure it out. But check this out. A little, I don't know what that connector is. I don't know what it is, but it's a Christmas tree ornament made out of a circuit board. Isn't that cool? PCBWay, Merry Christmas. And then here's another one. Oh, you know what? I bet a battery goes in there. Is this LEDs? They are LEDs. You got to slide a battery in there. I'm going to have to find one. I'll try and show you guys in an upcoming video. We'll put lights on there. That's what it is. I was thinking, man, is that some sort of USB thing? That's a battery clip. You can put a battery and light these up for your tree. So that was kind of cool. And then here, I thought this was really nice too. Look at this. I don't know. My daughter, she recognized the mug right away. She said, I think that's a brand X mug. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it looks pretty sturdy. So PCBWay, I just wanted to kind of go through the gifts. It's the holidays, right? You got to do gifts. You got to do gifts. Buy yourself something for the wife. And thanks to PCBWay for being such an amazing sponsor of the channel. I really do appreciate their support of RC video reviews. They also help, guys. I got news for you. PCBWay, they've been good to us. They help the channel, and they help me get more stuff for the channel to show you. So they're a good sponsor, and I just wanted to give them a little shout out. Oh, and I forgot the big one. I forgot this. I had this one hiding away. Check that out. A little pillow for your chair. 2024. It's 2024, so this one will be good for next year too. And there's a Santa on the back, and it says PCBWay. Isn't that nice? Very, very thoughtful. Thanks to PCBWay. Get in the gift-giving mood. Go out and buy something for your loved ones, your kids, your wife, your grandkids, whatever the case may be. Get in that gift-giving mood, man. PCBWay, very nice, very nice. Okay, when I get back, I'll check comments. We'll get moving. Let's see. Hobie made it. Finally, glad you can make it, Shane. Are you sure that donut's not for hemorrhoids? I hope not, because, yeah, I hope not. I'm going to assume it's a neck roll. Remember to smash that like button. Yeah, if you guys hit the like button, 28 likes, 44 viewers, hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, but only do it a odd number of times. Don't do it even. Freddie does it even. Freddie does it twice, and that doesn't register right. So just an odd number of times is what you're looking for. All right, 9 volt battery. Is that what it is, David? I'll have to look deeper. I thought it was maybe some kind of watch battery. I'll figure it out. Is it 9 volts? Oh, is that what it is? It's 9 volts? No, it's got to be a watch battery. Is it 9 volts? I don't know. I guess it could be. Is that supposed to be a 9 volts? You put the 9 volts in there and then slide it down or latch it or something? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I think it's a watch battery of some sort. I'll have to check the box. They might have included the batteries. All right. Let's see. Yes, Santa comes early. That's right. That's right. It's a keyboard handrest. I know. I was just goofing, man. That was just having a little fun. And I'm not even drinking. So there you go. Batteries go there. Looks like a CR. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A CR 2032 or something like that. Awesome. That's genius. That was very nice of the company. Yeah, wasn't that nice of them? It was nice. I thought it was nice. I didn't expect it. All of a sudden, I just get a ship notification and it shows up at my door, and I open it up like, what the heck is this? And it was a box full of Christmas goodies from PCBWay. Very nice of them. Where's the ugly sweater? I know. My wife just bought me a sweater, but it's not ugly. It's hot, though. It's warm. I'll tell you that. Okay. That was it for the PCBWay thing. That was the segment. That was the segment right there, segment number 4. So we're going to skip over that. And now we're going to get on to the EdgeTX 2.10.0 preview. And I'll tell you guys, the reason I'm doing the preview is because they're getting close. One of the Edge guys pinged me and he said, hey, we're getting close to 2.10. And then just today, Rob got on and he said, hey, 2.10, some nice updates. Take a look. And I think what I'll do is just maybe do a quick little comparison. We'll go through a couple of them, a couple of the screens side by side real quick. And then I wanted to show you the one thing that I know that Rob called out. Believe it or not, this is not the first time we've done a kind of a preview look on 2.10 either. I've done work like this before. So there we go. I think that probably looks pretty good. I'll zoom in there we go. I think that should look pretty good. Okay, the first thing I wanted to show you, let's just cut right to the chase. This is the thing that Rob told me about. He said the lists. So if you go into model settings and then say inputs or mixes, and then you click edit, and then let's choose the source. Evidently this is 2.9, right? So we're going to scroll, and that actually doesn't look too bad. Now I'm going to go over to 2.10, and I'll show you real quick just so you see it. This is 2.10 nightly. This is from today, like a couple of hours ago. Okay, so this is the latest nightly. I'm going to go ahead and click on model, and then we'll click on our mixer. And if you haven't seen this before, they changed the input setup quite a bit. So now you have this little arrangement on the side where all the different categories are here. But watch what happens when you scroll. There's like no lag. So that was the thing that Rob pointed out, was he said, hey man, check that out. The list, the long list where before you've seen some lag, they kind of cured that. So that actually does look pretty good. You know, I'm kind of playing with it for the first time just before the PilotJam, and of course now, and it actually does look pretty good. Although this one does not look hateful, but I do know maybe on special functions. Maybe if we look at special functions and look at audio, that might be a better example. And this is a live, oh geez, man, that's a live radio. That's a live model. Let me switch. I'm gonna switch. But let's not play with the live models. Let's go to something else. We'll go to testing. I shouldn't be editing live models. Bad idea. Okay, we'll use this one. And then I'll hit model. We'll go over to special functions. I said special functions. There we go. And I'll add S2, and we'll do a play track, and we'll go through the list. And I'm just going to kind of scroll it. See, I think the reason mine, oh, it's really blown out too, isn't it? I see it now. Hold on. Let me, sorry guys. Let me fix the blowout. That's no good. Let's see. Radio settings. And then the gear icon, backlight, and let's bring that. Wait, where is it on the slider? Where is it? I must have it on a switch or something. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Hold on a second. Why am I having problems turning my damn brightness down? Let's see. Do I have a global function? No. Let's add a special function maybe. Is it on a switch? Oh, backlight, right slider. Oh, of course. It's on the wrong damn side. And what's worse, I was already in there. Okay, we'll get back in here. Special function 2. Sorry about that. Play track. Hey, that's neat. I just realized that when I went back into special function 2, the function that I selected was still selected. That's interesting. I didn't know that before. Okay, now we'll scroll. Can you guys see? Yeah, you can see now. It's still a little bright, isn't it? There we go. All right, so we're scrolling. And I think part of the reason mine works so well, and that is working pretty well, to be honest with you, I think part of the reason for that is because of what I did with my SD card. I'm just speculating. I'm speculating because I do that whole SD card tuning thing. But yeah, that's still pretty good. But Rob made a call out specifically. He said on 2.10, it seems to be much more lag free on the menu. So anyway, there you go. There's a look at the mixer. Let's get back out of here, and we'll go into a couple of, I'm not going to go through every single screen, but we'll take a couple. We'll look at some of the key screens. How's that? So we'll start with flight modes. There's flight modes, and I do see it looks like I don't really, this side is a little narrower. It's a little shorter. This one's a little taller. We'll go into the flight mode edit screen and click on that and see what's going on. We can see rudder, elevator, throttle, aileron are all there on the first screen. The fade in time, that box is a lot wider now, so it looks like a little more consistent, like the width of these is all the same versus over here where the width is not the same. But that's all I really see on that first screen. Don't see anything there. We'll go into flight mode 2 because they have a little more information, like a switch, for example. So we have our switch, and then our fade in, fade out. Yeah, not much difference there. I don't really see anything functionally different there. So we'll get out of there. We'll go to inputs next. We'll take a look at the inputs. Click on this. Click edit. Oops, I just hit insert before, but who cares? It's fine. Aileron. Okay, so in terms of the screens, we see a full all the way down to switch on 2.10, and switch is actually cut off here on 2.9. So that's a little bit of a cleanup, I think. Let's see, this is aileron. The curve still works. The input curve or the movement curve still works. Same thing over here. That looks fine. We'll scroll down a little bit, and okay. Does this? No, it doesn't scroll from the right side. Neither does this one. They both scroll from the left. Okay, that's fine. That's consistent. Can live with that. And the button is a little shorter. I don't know if you guys can make that out on the screen, but the icon over here on the left is shorter than the one over here on the right. I'm not sure that I care for that. I kind of like that one better because that's definitely easy to hit. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe they're just going for consistency. I don't see anything meaningful in here. That looks pretty much the same. So, okay, I think enough of the inputs. Let's go into the mixers. I think that's where we're going to see the big change. Actually, that might have been on the inputs too. Let's go back to the inputs real quick. Sorry. We'll click edit. And we'll do input source. There we go. Yeah, it is the same here. And then source. You can see this is different. And they've never had the all button. That's one of my gripes I've had. Like once you click a category on 2.9, so let's say you decide I'm going to click telemetry, you have no way of going back to the all list. So the only way to do that is to exit the selection menu and then hit the drop down again. Then you're back in the all list. This time they put an all button at the top. So if you choose a stick or an input or a pot rather, or any other feature, trim, whatever. If you want to go back to the all list, now they have an all button on top. So that's cool. I think that's a nice little update. And that's true for inputs and the mix line. So we'll go back to the mixer now. We'll take a look at one of them. The buttons over here are definitely smaller. Like the menu, the context menu stuff, definitely shorter. I don't know how well it presents, but you can see on the screen, the menu fits completely in the screen. The context menu pops up completely in the screen versus this one. It is, all the options are there. I got to be honest, I like this better, I think, because it seems like it's easier to navigate to me. And even though there is a scroll bar, there's no scrolling. So anyway, we'll hit edit and edit. This one's a little more finicky to get right. And then again, from a screen perspective, dead space down here. So the buttons are shorter and now we've got dead space on the bottom, where on this side, the buttons are all taller and there's no dead space on the bottom. So I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what the thinking is on that, but that's what it is. All right, we'll click the gear icon, and we got multiplex add buttons, and we see slow up, slow down. So it looks like the content's all there, same amount of content on the screen. So I don't see anything like noteworthy there. To me, this is the big one, and I got to be honest with you, I think that feels like a swing and a miss, because why not use the whole screen? Why make it harder to touch buttons and have all this dead space right down here on this screen, when over here, it's actually easier to touch the buttons and use the entire screen? I don't get it. That one I don't understand. Okay, let's see. We'll go into the outputs. We got our add all trims and sub trims. Extended limits are still here. And we'll click on it and we'll hit edit. Take a look at the menu. I don't really see anything meaningful here. Again, on this side, it's a little, feels like the buttons are slightly compressed compared to this side, but yeah, the layout's pretty much the same. Okay, there's our curve menus. We'll take a look at one curve just to make sure. Okay, I don't really see anything. I've been wondering if they're ever going to put a touch screen on here for these, but they're not on there. So, but there you go. There's the curves. I don't really see anything functionally different there. We'll take a look at global variables. We'll take a look inside, because there's actually a lot of stuff inside these global variables. So we got gyro all the way down to the flight mode, and that's on one screen, so that's fine. And then, yeah, this is all pretty much the same, although they changed the styling on these buttons a little bit. The white, and I got to be honest with you, I like this styling better, where the button is white and the little recessed area is colored in. That looks to me more natural, like an actual button physically might look, right? Because the button should be shiny, kind of like this, right? And then the cavity is shaded, and that's what you see here. On this side, they inverted that. So I don't know. I guess when you activate it, the color change takes effect. So maybe that's the idea, I guess. And there's a color change on this one too. It goes from dark to lighter. So I don't know. I don't know. Stylistic differences. I guess that's what it is. All right, logical switches. Take a look here. Oh, let's see. How many do we have? L1 through L10 and L1. Okay, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. That was a trick question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No, obviously not too much of a difference here. And then we'll edit. And we see function through delay. Function through delay. Nothing different there in the logical switches. That all looks the same. Special functions. Yeah, that looks pretty much the same. I guess we'll click on one of them, right? Let's do, I don't know. We'll click on this one. Play track, and I'll do a play track on this one. So play track. Play track. There's the value. Okay, so we got our trigger, our function, our value, and the repeat mode. And notice there's an enable switch on this one. So it looks like you can turn, that's cool. That's a neat little feature because that used to be, I think that was just a logical function thing, right? They did not have that before. So I think this was something, was this on the logical switches? Where was that enable? Oh, I know what it was. It was a checkbox, right? Yeah, there it is. There's the enable. So they moved it. They moved the enable to be inside the special function. Interesting. No, they did not. What's going on here? Play track. Is the control is in there. Can you turn this off? You can't turn that off by pressing it. Let's try editing it. Enable. Okay, the enable is there. I don't know. I don't know. I can't rewind the video and see what I did different, but okay, there is an enable switch there. Okay. I thought that might have been different. It's not. Next. Telemetry screen. We'll take a look at the telemetry real quick. I do like how they have the sensors up top now. That's good. That makes sense to me. One RSS custom auto offset, positive filter logs. Yep. I don't see anything different there. And then we scroll down to the bottom and we'll see if there's any goodies, any Easter eggs down here. We have discover new, add new, delete all, show instance, ignore instance, RQLY. Remember express out. That was a change they made some time ago where depending on the protocol you selected, the sensor alarm name label right here changed. So notice that says RQLY. That no longer says RSSI. That was stuck on RSSI for a long time. So they got rid of that. RQLY is the primary alert, and that's why it says RQLY. That changes now per protocol, and that was obviously instituted some time ago. So anyway, you have options to control your telemetry alarm values, low and critical, disable your alarms, and the Vario, and that's it. And then that's it for the model setup. So I'm going to just check real quick. System, this is info, yeah, 292. So I am flying. This is a production release. So they're very close. Like graphically, they're very close. But they obviously, even on this screen, you can see that they crunch things just a little bit. It's not a lot, but it's there. And I'm not really, I'm not really sure why they're giving up the use of this space by making things smaller. I think that's kind of an odd design choice, but it is what it is. Okay, system menu. I promise we're not going to go through every one of these. We'll just look at a couple of them. So 2.10.0, 2.9.2. Let's take a look at, take a look at the hardware page. There we go. So battery meter, battery calibration, RTC, ADC, mute if no sound. Okay, RF. Now what's interesting to me is while they're crunching everything everywhere else on this page, this one's actually got more information because it says internal RF right there. It says internal RF here, but it's actually like 2 lines lower, 2 rows lower. Did I miss something? Mute, ADC, RDC, battery, and battery meter range. No, I didn't. That's weird. Okay. Did I miss something? Yeah, this one is just slightly taller. It is slightly taller. Weird. Okay. All right. Internal RF. Type, multi, sample mode, normal. This is all the same. I don't see anything different in here. You got calibration axis instead of sticks. Okay, that's probably a nod to the car guys, the Surface guys. So axis instead of sticks, huh? Okay. Well, whoops. I didn't mean to get out of there on this one. So the calibration axis, pots, switches. So we got pots. sliders and switches. So they got rid of sliders. That's gone. And you have switches. And I'm guessing they put the sliders under pots, right? So S1, 6 position, S2, left and right slider. Yep, there it is. So they got rid of this screen, the left and right slider screen, and just added them to pots, which that makes sense. And then let's see, debug, analog, and keys. So no functional differences there. So yeah, little minor touches, but obviously with EdgeTX at this point, a lot of it has to do with what's going on under the hood. So there you go. There's a little EdgeTX 2.10 preview. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a look. And, you know, like I said, Rob pinged me and is like, hey, it seems like they did a good job eliminating lag. And that was one of those areas that we all kind of hoped that they would work on a little bit, you know, because it needed it. It needed a little bit of work, right? All right, let's see what is coming up next. I'm just going to put that on the screen for you. All right, what's coming up next? PCBWay, we already covered that. Ooh, Q&A. Q&A. Okay, here we go. Q&A. I'm going to check questions before I move. Lithium button, awesome, that's genius. Let's see, where's the ugly? He doesn't need an ugly sweater when he's got such an ugly radio. Robert. Precious is dressed in the colors of the season, man. She's got the silver and red. That's very Christmassy, and black, very Christmassy. It almost matches the wallpaper except for the gold. The wallpaper is gold. Haters gonna hate, Robert. That's right. Yes, the audio files are hard to scroll through. Spin Launch Glide says, I'll have all the new MT12 car guys using EdgeTX for the first time in my pairs these holidays. Yeah, good luck with that. Those MT12s. I know they're starting to hit. Everyone's getting them. They're starting to show up on Discord. So I'm sure all the questions will start. The ground radio does look sweet. Just use the TX16. That's for my ground vehicles too. Yeah, very nice. T210 looks like a cleaner UI, says Hobie. Nice Corsair. Yeah, the Corsair was good, man. That Corsair is fine, fine airplane. All right, Blackboard. Let's get over the Blackboard, and we definitely have some Q&A. I actually constrained myself this week on the Q&A. There's only 28 questions. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Relax. All right, let's see. We'll start out with Rick Harms. He says, the one thing I learned from this was the effect of D16 divided by 2. Now, what is that? 8 channels. So the question on this one has to do with Express LRS. When you are in the Express LRS setup on your models, on your radio, and you see that option for 16 divided by 2, what they're referring to is that's a divisor on your packet rate. And my guess is, here's my guess. I'm not a programmer, so I'm just kind of speculating a little bit. But my guess is that they went in and said, we're going to take a 333 hertz packet rate with a proportional channel. And then we're going to take a 333 hertz packet rate and cut it in half. And we can deliver 8 fully proportional channels in one cycle and 8 in another cycle. That's what I think they probably did. And in case you're wondering what this is all in reference to, I will bring up the big screen and let you see it. So the overhead camera, I have my daily driver out, and this question is a reference to that switch mode right there, 16 divided by 2. And so what this means is you get 16 proportional channels, but its rate, which is right here, 333 divided by 2. So you're not at 333 hertz on your packet rate between your transmit module and your receiver. You're actually going to be at 166, so 166 hertz, but you get 16 fully proportional channels. So I wanted to cover that one in a little bit of detail on the PilotJam, just in case there's maybe a lingering question out there on what that's about. It does not cut your channel number or availability in half. It reduces your packet rate by half. That's rate divided by 2 is what that does. All right, but good question, Rick. It's good that you ask, right? And by the way, don't hesitate to experiment a little bit on your own too. Marine HM, he says, this has got to be one of the best EdgeTX videos since how to convert from OpenTX. He gets the comment of the week. My favorite comment of the week. Thanks, Marine HM. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right. Barney Rebel 0123 says, I'd be curious to see a comparison between this system and the Flywing H1. Fred, you awake? Fred. Is Fred sleeping, drinking, eating? What's he doing? The question of the H1 came up because it also has a GPS, and I've actually considered that one. I think if I do another helicopter, I might take a look at that H1 as well, because the Spirit is good. It flies good. The OMP Hobby M4 flies great with the Spirit in there. All the functions seem to work pretty well. I've got that position hold slide thing that I don't care for, but I haven't flown it since the upgrade. But at any rate, I'll give it a whirl. Fred likes to bash the GPSs, but I kind of like to try them out and see how they do. But yeah, I might try that H1. So hang in there, Barney Rebel. We may get to that yet. Night Stalker 1993 says I bought. Oh, so I'm still kicking the B6 Neo in the nuts because they're still listed on the freaking retail sites, which means there's Fred. There's Fred. He says H1. They're still listed on the retail sites and people are still buying them and they're still getting screwed. So I figured I'm going to keep putting the word out and I'm going to keep on this microphone and keep mentioning it to you guys that this poor guy bought a B6 Neo Pink Edition so I can use it as a voltage checker with no intention to use it as a charger at all. I brought it to one flight session and guess what? It's showing issues already. The screen developed 2 vertical lines and the balance port connection is now unstable for one heli. Definitely not safe to use. And there was, I think, another comment on this. Yep. Here's another one by James. I bought this brand new on 2023-12. Doesn't charge my battery at day 1, which displays connection break again and again when I press the start option. The output port remains 0. I double check the setting, the connection wire, and the 40% battery okay condition. Replace another battery. It didn't work. Bottom line, we got to keep telling people to stay the hell away from these chargers. I cannot believe that the retailers out there are keeping this charger in stock. It kind of pisses me off, to be honest with you, because it's a known freaking problem. A lot of people have documented. Just read the channel. I'm not even soliciting this stuff. And people are coming in saying the same thing I've been saying about this damn charger since mine went south. They're saying it breaks, the fan breaks, screen breaks, I'm getting connection errors all over the place, and yet the retailers keep selling them. So if you're a retailer and you're carrying a B6 Neo, shame on you. You should take them off the damn website, send them all back, and make SkyRC fix their problem. This is not John with an axe to grind. This is a problem because it's a known issue. The chargers are failing over and over with the same problem, and the retailers keep selling them. And I got to be honest with you, it kind of annoys me. I'm not real thrilled about that. And we got to spread the word. That's all we can say, because if guys like me aren't out here saying this, then guys like you get soaked for $35. And then you get to argue for a week and a half on whether or not you can get an RMA. So spread the word. B6 Neos are crap. Avoid them. All right, let's see. Freda W61 says, I also looked on my 256 meg card that's saying the card is full and I do not see any zip files. Okay. I brought this question in because I get questions like this on a fairly regular basis. And he says he doesn't see any zip files. Okay. So here's my response. Number one, I can't solve like all these little nuanced problems. So I'm going to teach you how to fish instead. Go out and download a tool like Tree Size Free. Write that down. That's the tip of the day. You're going to be glad you were here. I've been using Tree Size Free for years. Use Tree Size Free for Windows. You can download it. It's free. And when you use that to scan a drive, it will help you identify where the big stuff is. So if you got a 256 megabyte card, which is more than enough to run EdgeTX on a TX16S, and you're out of space, download a tool like Tree Size Free. On Mac, there's another one. I can't remember. It's Disk Inventory X or something like that. But there is one on Mac. If you're on Linux, you already know how to do this. But go out and get a disk tool that'll help you examine the consumed space on your disk. And it works on SD drives just as well. And you can examine and figure out what is taking up the space. Okay, so there's no reason a standard install of EdgeTX should ever consume your entire SD card. Okay. So because I can't see the SD card, and honestly, I don't want to get into troubleshooting this type of individual issue, all I can say is go out and get a tool like Tree Size Free, download it, install it, learn how to use it. All right. PSJ47 says, I'm new to electrics. So this may be a dumb question. Since you needed some more nose weight, could you just use an 8S battery instead of 6S? Now, first things first, PSJ47 says, I'm new to electronics, so I don't know. So therefore, this is not a criticism, period. End of story, full stop. Okay, it's an honest question. The answer to the question is no, you can't, because you might be able to get away with it, but generally we design our prop and our motor and our ESC to work on a given voltage range, and generally just adding voltage is normally not the right answer unless you plan for it. It's possible it could work, but you have to make sure you've planned for it. I would highly advise against just saying, well, we'll just stick an 8S in there and it'll be fine. So honest question, in no way is this a criticism of the question. Okay, let's make sure we're clear about that. Now, I'm going to flip my hat to the backside like that. What was that Sylvester Stallone movie when he was the arm wrestler? Who knows? Put it in comments. Over the Top. That's what it was. Over the Top. I'm going to flip my hat around like Stallone did in that movie and say, now, if you're one of these dipshits who walks around talking like you know exactly what you're saying and you tell someone, hey, just put a 6S battery in your 4S plane, it'll be fine. No, that's stupid. Don't do that. And don't give that kind of advice. You have to test these things. It might work. You might get away with it. But generally speaking, if you go up in voltage, you go down in prop, right? You bring your prop down a little bit. There's some kind of trade-off. It's very unusual that you can just add voltage and not have some repercussion. And if you can, then you probably had the wrong prop size to start with. Okay. So keep that in mind. So again, PSJ, fair question, not meant to impugn the question. Just don't be one of those nut jobs who goes around talking like you know what you're doing and telling people, oh, just stick a bigger battery in there, you'll be fine. Yeah, that's bad advice. Don't do that. Okay, Willie Wideback says, I currently have two FMS 1700 millimeters, may pull the trigger on this 1400 version. I got to tell you guys, the Corsair, it's not like I've had a whole bunch of Corsairs, but I've had a couple, and I like this one a lot. It's just a beautiful airplane, flies well. There was a little bit of a question on comments about this one. They said that one of the guys said, well, it looks like it was underpowered. Yeah, I mean, compared to, you know, the Slick or the Edge 540 or the extra 260 or, you know, planes like that. Sure. Yeah, it might feel a little underpowered, but for a scale warbird, I thought it was very appropriate power level. Like it did what you'd expect it to do for a warbird. It's not meant to be a bottle rocket, right? That's not what it's meant to do. So my attitude about the Corsair is that I thought the power level was appropriate for the plane. Okay. Now that said, you know, if you're John, sure, you're going to find some way to boost the power a little bit, right? You might take the prop down a little, put a different motor on there. You know, you might find some way to add a little bit of power to this one, and that's fine. But I think out of the box, there's no reason to be disappointed if as long as your expectations are tempered for the fact that you're getting a warbird, right? And that's what it is. As far as warbirds go, it was sufficient. That's my answer. So it's a nice airplane, very good ground handling. Of course, the airframe is spectacular looking in the sky. Just a beautiful, beautiful model airplane. Absolutely love that one. And I thought FMS did a really nice job on this one with the flaps, the gear, the lights, the power, the battery, the prop. It was all good. It was all there. So nice airplane. You wouldn't be disappointed. Oh, hey, how about that? Let's see. Tipix lips. I can't. Where's my drum roll? I don't know how to say that name. Tipix. I give up. I hope you might test the ISDT 608 DC. Does he say PD or DC? Is this PD? This says 608 PD. I think that's what he meant. Released in November and no review has been released. It has quite similar feature list for my impression. Not sure if that would deliver all, but might be a good replacement of the B6 Neo. I agree. And I think I covered that in the little segment we did on the 608. I think it would be a good substitute for the B6 Neo. Absolutely. And then let's see, Richard Carter, 9749 says, thanks for all the thorough info. I'm moving from Spectrum to Radiomaster. That's one of my favorite sentences to hear. I'm moving from Spectrum to Radiomaster. And it's not because I harbor ill will towards Spectrum. It's because I like you guys. I want you guys to get your money's worth. And I think people who fly Spectrum are getting mugged. And you're not getting mugged if you fly Radiomaster. That is that simple. That's the calculus for me. It's not hard. We live in America. We live in what's called a free market economy. We're capitalist. You're entitled to make a profit. That's fine. I don't care. If you want to make a profit, God bless you. You know, go make a profit. But I care about you guys. You're the viewers. You're my constituency, right? So I'm not here to see how much of your money I can extract from your wallet. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to profit on the channel, make the channel grow and add reviews and provide content, but I care about looking out for you guys. And so that's why this is one of my favorite sentences. When somebody says I'm moving from Spectrum to Radiomaster, to me, that's almost like an angel getting his wings because you've seen the light, right? You're getting away from a highly priced, overpriced ecosystem with what I consider to be limited and dated functionality. And you're moving into something that's far more modern, far more flexible, far more capable. And that's my answer. So I'm glad to hear that he's moving. And I'm also glad that my videos have been helpful in the process. So Richard, congratulations. Welcome to the dark side. And that's it. We're back to question number 1. So we can go back to the party platter. That's Q&A. And let's see. Next up is coming up. I'm going to check comments. We'll do coming up, and then we're going to break. So we're just over an hour at this point. Not bad. The ground radio looks sweet. Covered that. 210 looks cleaner. Covered that. Hope they come out with some accessories for the MT12, like different grips. Oh, I'm sure they will. Yeah, that Radio Master was kind of a pioneer in that space, right? They came out with the face plates, which surprised a lot of us. The leather grips, the colored, the colored anodized hardware. So yeah, I think they might. They might. Wouldn't surprise me. And now they're doing the translucent face plates and stuff like that. So we'll see. Freddie says, I know a guy with an H1 on a Trex 470. He says, there's the video. Put a video in. I'm curious, Fred, on the H1, if you have any comments on what he thought. I thought there was some kind of issue with the H1. Like it didn't quite perform right, or there's some kind of issue with the GPS. Leave a comment. Let me know. Jim Watts says 5x3 by 10 to 15 time RPN, raise the third times diameter, raise the fourth times pitch. That's your formula for watts? Sounds reasonable. I have to check your work, but it seems like you've done some math, so we'll have to check that at some point. Also, don't forget about eCalc. eCalc is out there. They're pretty good. 16-bit FPV says FMS has some of the nice looking planes that fly like wet logs. They have had some challenges on power, and that's one of the questions I always have when it comes to plug and plays is the power. And I can say that some of them have performed quite well. Some of them have been a little lethargic. I obviously like the Flash. That thing is a freaking rocket ship. The PC-21, that's got pretty good power for what it is. Some of the jets I thought were fine. The Rafale, the 80 millimeter Rafale, that was pretty strong. Didn't have any issues with that. So yeah, they definitely, with that plug and play space, it can be challenging. Dynam too. I remember Dynam was always just a little bit off. When it came to Diamond planes, it's like if you guys would have just went instead of a 550 kV to a 650 kV, and instead of a 3-blade, a 4-bladed prop, and just a slightly bigger ESC, it was money. But, and they were marginal cost upgrades. So I never understood that, why they always, constrained it. Maybe it was flight time. I really don't know. But yeah, I'm with you on that. You got to watch out for that power to weight ratio, and make sure you figure out what works best for you, and then, check the videos. And like I said earlier in the PilotJam, I'll be working on including that type of information for you guys going forward. All right, Spectrum's jingle should be, there's always time for, or sucker born every minute, right? Let's see. Mr. Giant Leap says, just got back into RC from 40 years ago. Your videos convinced me to get the TX16S. Glad I did. It's challenging, but your videos are teaching me a lot. Thanks for all your hard work. You're welcome, man. I'm glad to help. And, I'll say the same thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, Richard, who came over from OpenTX, and Horace onto a TX16S with EdgeTX. And he knows about the channel, and he started watching the videos, and he's already kind of picking it up, right? The idea for me with EdgeTX, when you make the transition, is I have something like 200 videos at this point. But when you make the transition, just do the videos and play along with your radio. You don't even have to worry about setting up an actual model. Keep flying with your Spectrum stuff for a little while. Watch the videos, play with the radio, learn how to reset your radio. And then you can do all the videos, play around with stuff until you get it figured out. And then I promise you guys, here's what happens with EdgeTX. As you go through your journey of learning EdgeTX, you hit a point in time. And when you hit that point in time, the light goes on. And you're like, aha, I get it. And once that light goes on, that's it. You don't really need me anymore. The only reason you need me after that is for the complex logic puzzles that I do. That's it. But the radio configuration stuff, once the light goes on, that's it. You'll be good to go. And I've seen it over and over and over again. So I'm speaking from a position of authority on this one. All right. So anyway, welcome to the TX16S Dark Side, Mr. Giant Leap. Wolfie says, I'm very, very happy with my TX16S. Does everything I need and more. Yeah, man, they're great. And then when you pair that with the spectacular RF technology that is Express LRS and the inbuilt modules and all the stuff they're doing with the code on Express LRS and the binding and the lone model feature and the VTX backpack and the range they get out of them and the dual diverse antennas, S-Bus, CRSF, PWM, man, it's an amazing little ecosystem. VBAT. You got Varios built into receivers now. It's an amazing ecosystem, and for the money, you simply can't beat it. So that's my thing with Radio Master. Okay, so coming up, I got some news for you guys about coming up. The first one is I picked up a battery sponsor, but it's not flight batteries. It's the LifePost stuff. So the sponsor is Power Queen, and they found one of my videos where I mentioned Power Queen as a LifePo option. And they said, hey, we saw your video, loved it. Can we send you some stuff? And I said, sure. So they're sending me some stuff, and I'm going to be doing a LifePo video showing you guys how to make the series pack and do one that's a little bit cheaper than the one I made. Mine was about $500, goes in the back of the car. I can charge 30 6L 5000s during a flight day. I'm getting a little bit of a smaller, more affordable battery system this time. And what I'm going to do is we're going to put it on a desk. I'm going to talk about the BMS, how to charge them, and then how to make the connectors you need to put them in series and to connect to your power supply, or sorry, your charger. I'm going to show you how to make the pigtails and do the wiring. So that video will be coming up pretty soon. I think those batteries show up tomorrow. So that video will be coming up pretty soon. I picked up another sponsor, Hobby Zone, oddly enough. And I know everyone that knows anything, Tim jumped on this right away. He's like, wait a minute, Hobby Zone, like as in Horizon? And yeah, they're distributed by Horizon. But they contacted me and said, hey, we watch your videos, like what you do. They carry FMS, they carry arrows. Of course, they carry E-Flight stuff, and they carry Spectrum. And I said, I'm happy to engage with you guys on the model planes. I've actually flown some E-Flight planes. I have some good, the Consendo, very good. The Leader 480, very good. You know, I've got some favorable points of view on some of their planes. And I think you do need to be a little selective, but favorable. And then they also have FMS and arrows. So I told them right up front, I won't do Spectrum stuff. I won't do the radios and the receivers or batteries or chargers. And they said, okay, fair enough. You know, but if you'll do the models, that's great. So they have a couple airplanes on the way. And if you're a patron, you'll get to find out what those are tomorrow. For the rest of you, you have to wait until they hit the channel. But a couple of models coming on the way from Hobby Zone, and I'll be doing those. You guys know the drill there, right? We do the first look video, put them together, go fly them, do the maiden, and then we're off. And then, by the way, I'm going to be taking a little time off work. And so I'm hoping to get together with Dave and Fred and maybe get some flight videos going in the next couple of weeks. So there's, oh, and then the other thing, I put the AM116. This is actually for the RAW. So this is going to go in the RAW 500 helicopter. And I'm still waiting for a little bit more equipment on that. And I also wanted to make sure that I mentioned, if you are looking at Extreme Flight, their container schedule shows 3 containers this week. 3. 2 Extreme Flight containers, 1 Skywing container, and the Skywing inventory is being updated right now. So if you're looking for a Skywing model from Extreme Flight, now's the time to go get it. The Extreme Flight stuff, I haven't checked today, but I expect that should start hitting the website pretty soon. So if you've been holding out for an Extreme Flight model, get your credit card out, get ready. I'm not kidding, man. When they start posting that stuff, you better get over there, because they've had a drought now for like 2.5 months. So I know when that inventory starts hitting their website, they're going to sell out of that stuff, man. It's going to go. I'm just telling you, it's going to go. So get your credit cards out, get ready, get over to Extreme Flight. They have stuff inbound. All right. So that's a little foreshadowing on what's coming up as well, just so you know, if you didn't pick up on that. Hint, hint, hint. So that's it. Extreme Flight. All right, that's it. I'm going to check questions one more time, and we're going to finish this one up. So let's see. Freddie, you covered that. Keep flying. Spectrum, got Spectrum comments. Let's see. I'm very happy with my... Okay, I think we got everything. Hey, Robert, Dan is an awesome guy. Yeah, Dan. Are you talking about Dan at OMP? Hopefully. Dan is an awesome guy up at OMP. Jeff says, John, great show as always. Awesome to see more sponsors. Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I want to make sure I do include the other sponsors of the channel too, like T-Motor. T-Motor sent me that big, beautiful motor. That's going to be going in the next airplane. Always, of course, thanks to Radio Master. They've been amazing. FMS has been amazing. So we'll get into that during the New Year's video. We'll do a little bit more detail there, but I don't want to leave any of the sponsors out. They've all been spectacular. Very good to the channel, and you're right. Glad to see another couple of sponsors coming into the channel. So Robert says, great show as always, John. Well, I appreciate you, Robert. Don't work too hard, my friend. I'll see you around. And hope you get the glider. Which glider? I've done a couple gliders. Given away. Sold them. They're gone. I've done some gliders. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. If we don't catch you before Christmas, I hope you have just the most spectacular holiday season. Have a lovely Christmas with your family and your friends, or a Hanukkah or a Kwanzaa or whatever it is you celebrate. You know, whatever your season, whatever your holiday, I hope it's joyous for you and peaceful and restful, and that you charge your batteries. And you guys know what to do. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Thumbs up button really helps. If you like the kind of content that I put out on the channel and you want to help me produce more of it, head over to patreon.com/RCVideoReviews. $3 a month. You can sign up and help me keep building and making more content. And that's pretty much all I've got. Hope you guys have a fantastic night. If weather permits, make sure you get out there and fly something. Take it easy.